Hey guys, I'm going to answer a question, but I'm not going to answer the question. Technobiotic will. I'm a subscriber to this gentleman. I hope he don't mind. I sent him I don't know if he got it. I hope he got it. I hope he ain't mad. But I'm not editing his video. I'm not doing anything. I think he done a very good job of it. Number one. Number two, I don't have all the GPUs he have that he used in this test. I think I have two of the ones that he used in this test. I know I got because I have a Ryzen 3. I think I got them all. I got a Ryzen 3, a Ryzen 5, a Ryzen 7, and a Ryzen 9, but they're not all sitting here at one spot. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know my computer is in a LAN box that you use for, but it's not, I'm using it as an actual computer anyway. He does a much better job than I probably would have done anyway. But one thing. Number two, and yeah, I'm sub to him, and I even commented to him some time ago. That's me. I'm a sub, and I mean, you know, so I'm not pilfering somebody that I don't, you know what I mean. I hope he don't mind. Also, he's doing this using Premiere Pro, as you see. I don't use Premiere Pro. Me personally, I use DaVinci Resolve, but I use hardware rendering nonetheless. And I run an NVIDIA card. I run all NVIDIA cards, even though I'm an AMD CPU kind of guy. The hoops you got to jump through, unless something's changed since I started, that you have to jump through to get your a AMD GPU to actually render like an NVIDIA based GPU. And I got RX 580, I got RX 580, got a 6600 XT. I got them. You know, I done the videos where I'm showing y'all all the cards and whatnot. The only one I didn't do a video showing. No, I did do a video. No, I didn't. The only one I didn't do a video showing the card for is this 2070 that's in this computer, because I was halfway through the build, about ready to fire it up, and I scored a 2070. So I took the 2060 OC out and I put in the 2070 Gamer Edition that I scored. But anyway, so I just wanted to throw that perfunctory out. You'll get to see this. He's answering the question for me. Let me make the
welcome to Technobiotic.
Oops, sorry. Wrong screen. Let me make the screen a little bigger. Let me attempt to make, oops, I'm screwing up. Maybe if I let go of the Alt button, yeah, that'll do it. What's wrong with me? But anyway, let's go ahead and go. Let me go ahead and mute myself and let the gentleman take it away.
.com and Technobiotic TV. In this video, we'll be speaking about Adobe's latest update, because Adobe has launched a new update in May 2020 that will change everyone's life. When I mean everyone's, shooting a video, and if you're editing or designing in any way, Adobe launched new update for GPU usage. Don't get me wrong, GPU usage were just story for everyone for a long time, but
sorry about that. I think I was clipping. I didn't realize I had the gain up that loud on the desktop audio. Now you have to remember too, this was shot, it was uploaded in 2020, summer of 2020, when you could still get GPUs. Oh, you can get them now. It's just going to pay out you ain't going to pay out the nose. You know, we always say pay out the nose. It's not the nose anymore. It's back there. That's where you're paying out from. Onward.
With this update, it will affect your rendering times 3, 6, maybe even 10 times faster than you're imagining. Yes, maybe you've seen a lot of Adobe update videos on YouTube, but in this video, we'll be comparing 4 different GPUs at my back and also 2 different CPUs with this powerful computer. And we'll get you what kind of money you have to spend, how much speed difference that you'll get with different GPUs and CPUs together. You'll get a clear idea if you watch this video until the end. Before we get into the numbers, let's just know our hardware because we are going to compare them. Ryzen 3950X, which is top of the line AM4 CPU, is around $800.
I'm using now. I'm using a Ryzen 9 3900. It's not 3950. I just have the 3900X right now. Oh, and also this is not about gaming. This is video rendering speed. If you edit and render your own videos to upload to YouTube or this or that or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. If you're going to be getting into doing YouTube videos besides like just doing it on your smartphone and uploading it straight to YouTube from there, that don't apply either. But once you get to doing it on a desktop, putting it in a video editor, you know, adding pictures, doing light, color adjustments, brightening, darkening, fade ins and outs, fold overlays, all that other stuff, this is for you.
And our second choice of CPU is Ryzen 5 1600 version 2 12 nanometers because it's $100 range and it has been a choice of gamers for a long time because it is a bang for your buck CPU. And if you go to the GPU side, we got 4 different GPUs from the Galaxy brand and all from NVIDIA, of course: GTX 1650 Super, RTX 2060, RTX 2070 Super, and RTX 2080 Super. When I speak about the tests and scores, numbers, render times, you'll get on the screen. But before that, how we tested this hardware, it is an important issue. We have a video. You can watch the video from the link down below. It's a PC performance test video. It's a full HD and 180p, 60 frames per second, linear editing, game PC performance footage video. It's a simple video, no special transitions, no trackings, no green screen, no upscaling or downscaling from different resolutions as well. It's a basic linear editing, best to show you the power of the GPU or CPU combination together. It's a simple footage for 35 minutes. Before you get into the numbers, please do understand this, because at the end of the video I will speak a little bit of how much difference that you'll get, but if you change your projects when you're video editing, how will affect you. Let's go with the software rendering. If you choose the CPU of 3950X, your software render time for 35 minutes length of the footage, 29 minutes, 53 seconds. It's a good number. But if you downgrade your CPU to Ryzen 5 1600, you'll get 45 minutes, 46 seconds. Don't get me wrong, it's a huge difference, but the price difference is always huge. When you look at the numbers, $800 and $100 range, $700 difference. It's a PC price.
That is a big price, but here's the thing too. If you're editing, if you're going to be, you think you're going to be editing for real, if you think you're going to get into this for real and you're going to be editing, I wouldn't start at the bottom. I wouldn't start all the way at the top either. Most people start somewhere in the middle because you'll get good enough performance to get you going. But the guys that's already in the game, especially if you started at the bottom or in the middle, the next time you build a machine, you just go straight to the top. You just do. But there's no way I would come into the game not knowing how it's going to turn out and whether I would stay in this or not and spend that kind of money. Because you don't need that type of power along with memory and along with your motherboard, because you need the right motherboard too and all that other good stuff. But in cooling, and it just keeps going up. You won't need all that stuff if you're just going to be watching YouTube videos and checking your Instagram and Facebook. You just don't. You know, once you start, you're going to start editing and rendering your own videos. That software, these softwares, video editing softwares, they will show the weakness in your system. Okay, just figure I'd throw that in.
But it's not going to fool you there. Don't forget, this is a simple footage, no effects. But if you add effects, software rendering times will be changed hugely, especially in Ryzen 5 1600. There is no tracking, there is no crazy effect, there is no green screen, there is no upscaling or downscaling that will affect software rendering hugely. So don't forget about this. And this is 35-minute length of a footage. So if you render a time lapse or if you render higher resolution, 8K, 4K, whatever, it will affect in the software rendering. Don't forget about it. So you get when you pay for if you're going to the CPU rendering side, but difference is a lot. But we are focusing on this video for the GPU. Let's just go with the higher CPU, the best CPU we have, 3950X and GTX 1650 Super combination will get you 10 minutes 54 seconds. And if you upgrade the RTX 2060, 8 minutes 11 seconds. If you upgrade RTX 2070 Super, 7 minutes 34 seconds. And if you have the budget, RTX 2080 Super will get you 7 minutes 25 seconds with the CPU of 3950X. That will show us just adding $150 GPU to crazy 3950X, which is top of the line AMD Ryzen CPU, will get you 3 times faster than the software render. But many of you probably don't have this type of CPU power. Don't forget about it. And if you add different GPUs, you'll get speed increases. But after the RTX 2070 Super, to get RTX 2080 Super, you'll get only 9 seconds difference, but $200 range of price difference. That doesn't make too much of a sense. But the best price performance goes to the GPU side, GTX 1650 Super and RTX 2060. Above that, it's going to be about your budget and what you're...
Look at those times. Look at that. Look at that. Just adding in a 1650 Super. And I said I don't have a 1650. I have a 1660 Ti. That's what I have. That's why I think I might even have both, but I know I got 1660s. I got a 2060 OC and the 2070 Super. That's what I'm running on right now, that one here. But you have to make it's all in your pocketbook, you know, but I mean, are you willing to spend that much money? And you can throw that 2080 Super at $710. You could throw that out the window if you can find a 2080. Oh my God. Hell, look what 3060 Ti's are going for. 3070s, 3080s, 3090s. Forget about it. You better be raking in some serious coin to spend over $2,000 for a GPU of that magnitude. I'm telling you, I'd get me a 2060. If I was starting out now in the middle, I'd get me a 2060 and go about my way. Now, the guys that's rendering huge amounts of stuff, they already know. They in the game. They already know. But I mean, but if you just coming in the game, y'all better pay attention to the numbers, and y'all can rewind this when I just paused it so you ain't got to, so you can get you a good look at what you're looking at here. Okay, onward.
You're going to plan to do with your system. But if you're going to consider gaming, you have to balance your system for no bottleneck, and we have a lot of videos to show you different types of hardware. But the game is not going to stop here in this video. Ryzen 5 1600 with combining RTX 2080 Super, which is not a logical combination if you consider the price of the GPU and CPU together, but you'll get 7 minutes 38 seconds. Just stop there. We couldn't believe it in the first time. We tested again. We had 7 minutes 39 seconds. 1 second's difference. That shows us if you get crazy GPU and mid-range CPU, maybe bottom of the mid-range, best price performance CPU, you'll get only 13 seconds difference with the best 3950X CPU. That is a crazy speed. I mean, considering Ryzen 5 1600 software render is 45 minutes,
Folks, that's because when you're rendering, I'm gonna back it up a few seconds. When you're rendering, the GPU is carrying the load. When you go into the software and you put in the NVEC, click on the NVEC, N Nancy Victor Echo Charlie, and that's when you go through your hardware rendering. Okay, and when you got it, because the GPU, them CUDA cores and all that other stuff, it hammers it out a hell of a lot faster than using the software render that your CPU is going to go through. Yeah, more threads, more cores, but it still won't get you the performance that having a better GPU, better graphics card, GPU graphics card, CPU central processing unit. Okay, I'm gonna back up a couple of seconds and I'm gonna start him again.
100 software render is 45 minutes 46 seconds. Adding a GPU to that will affect you 4 or 5 times around. Just consider this. Before you purchase any rendering system or upgrading your system, consider all these information. Try to keep your balance up. Because when we summarize the subject, don't forget about our system is a strong system with 32 gigabytes of RAM and 2 SSDs, good power supply, huge coolers and lots of fans. These are also part of the performance.
Correct. These are all is all part of the performance. It gotta work. If you blow up on one side and you skimp on the other side, that part you skimped on will bite you in the butt. What's the old saying? A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And I see he got a 570 board. I got a Aorus 570X, the Pro Wi-Fi. Kingston M.2 SSD. I got M.2 SSDs too, NVMe's. He running 32 gig. I'm running 64 gig. This ain't about me. I'm just giving you a comparison so you get an idea. You got a dark freezer cooler. I got I'm having a brain cramp. I have an air cooler too. But I think he's liquid cooled. No. He got a dark freezer is air. Case, your airflow of your case is very important too, because if you got one of them pretty cases that don't flow air, heat is the enemy of your computer. That's why you got all them fans. They trying to get that heat off of there. And pretty and performance can go together, but some people choose form over function, and it comes back to bite them. Power supply. Got the same thing, 750 watt power supply. I got a 750 watt power supply as well. Okay, onward.
But we have changed 2 specs, CPU and GPU together. What we gained is huge. You've seen the numbers. But don't get the craziest idea from this video. Buying a cheap CPU and adding an expensive GPU together is not a good combination for the most of the time, because our footage was a simple 180p footage without any special effects. If you add tracking from Adobe After Effects or creating different sounds from Adobe Audition and adding files from Photoshop, Illustrator, or creating an animation in After Effects will affect your performance. This was just a linear video editing performance test of 35-minute length, simple video. But if you upscale 4K footage, downscale, or use a 8K footage, raw footage from Blackmagic sort of professional cameras, maybe GPU levels and CPU levels a lot more increasing. And don't forget about the test scores. you might be thinking RTX 2070 and RTX 2080 has a CUDA difference. I mean, the GPU computational power is different, but you don't have too much of a difference in video render times. This may be only for our 180p footage. If you have experienced different performance levels, if you have tested it, please write the comment section below to give everyone a different opinion and information about this. Because if you increase the render resolution or different type of footage, it will change maybe the GPU usage as well. But in our test, in Full HD, GPU usage kind of stops in 2070 Super. But don't forget about it. In life, everything like this. If you want to buy a Subaru with the same 0 to 60 speed, if you want a Porsche, just a little bit faster, or if you go to the Ferrari, just a little bit faster, you pay a huge lot of money to just a little bit of getting faster. When you get above the line of the price performance level, you'll get performance, but the price will always going up.
That's called the law of diminishing returns, boys and girls. The law of diminishing returns. And good thing he used the cars, because in the racing world, boy, I can tell you, boy, that comes into play. The law of diminishing returns. You will spend a ton of money. First, you'll get bang for the buck. You'll get into the 11 seconds like that, and you can spend $5,000. But now to shave another second, cost you $5,000 to shave 3 seconds. Now it's gonna cost you $5,000 to shave a second. Then gonna cost you $7,000 to shave another second. Then gonna cost you $10,000 to shave it just keeps the performance goes down, but the price goes up. Like people say, how fast do you want to go? How much money are you willing to spend? Same thing goes with computers.
Don't forget about all this and make your choice. And you can support us by buying any product from link down below, technobiotic.com. And if you want to support us, also like the video, share the information. And up until the next video, hoşça kalın.
That's it, boys and girls. I'll leave the link for you below. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. Bye.